My dear Tripura friends, this live will be in English. This live I'm doing actually at the request of a few of my friends in national media, as well as some of you who wanted to see outside the Tripura, basically what's going on in the state, and also for some of you who has problem with understanding Bengali. So I just took out some time from my office to do this live. So this won't be long. I'll try to keep it short. In the beginning, my introduction is my name is Shauman Sarkar. I'm actually a technocrat in US, but I'm also an editor of a Tripura-based media, tripurainfo.com. And it's basically a non-profit media which I run for Tripura, and I'm just a figurehead editor. Our ground team and everything they operate from Tripura itself. Now, the first question a lot of you ask me that why I'm running a media from US for Tripura. What is my benefit or what is my locus standi in this? So the answer is I belong to Tripura and I have certain responsibilities to my native state. And that's the reason, this is a non-profit platform I opened for Tripura's people where they can express their various issues, various problems without fear or without any bias, which a lot of the mainstream medias, mostly the print medias in Tripura, they are failing to publish a lot of people's issues. So the main purpose of opening a media in Tripura and that too running it from US, that's the main reason that so that my Tripura brothers and sisters, they can voice their opinions, they can voice their various issues, miseries, problems in a media platform where they don't have to pay any money, neither, there's no bias. So that was my goal, that because since many years I was dealing with Tripura on various issues and various charitable, initiatives, I observed that in Tripura lacks independent media or an independent platform where people can express their views, they can share a lot of their stuff. Also, they can, ask questions. So that I've seen that in Tripura that was very much missing. So I thought, okay, why not to start a platform? And I started this 6 years back. And since then, it remained as in tripurainfo.com, or in short form, the TIWN, that remained very much independent, unbiased, non-political, also non-profit. And we, as well as I am as the editor, we function purely non-profit basis, as well as we function as the voice of the people. So that's always the purpose for this media, and this is the purpose for me opening this media from US. So that is one thing. That's my introduction brief. In US, I'm here for quite a long time, over a decade. I'm a technocrat in profession, so my profession is not news media, but this is what I opened for my Tripura brothers and sisters so that they can have an independent platform where they can express themselves. So being said this introduction, because this introduction was needed for some of you who are watching me from national media, as well as some of you from outside India. So coming to the main topic, that why do I come live? So next question's answer is I come on live because Tripura needs, independent free voice which is missing. So anyone raising any topic in Tripura is basically their voice is being subdued or they are being suppressed, even the whole news media and everything in Tripura. So this is being now subdued now. No one can speak anything, raise any questions, as well as, there is absolutely no freedom of speech or a minimum iota of democracy in this state. So that's where I come in the picture, that a lot of you, they send you send your issues to me and I raise questions on behalf of you. Now today's live is basically will be a subset of my Sunday's live, because Sunday I spoke quite long time, over 1 hour in Bengali, and I covered various issues. So I'll go over one by one issues here so that some of you who are watching or didn't watch my Sunday live can catch hold of this, what I'm talking now. So coming to Tripura's governance and administration, I would like to thank Tripura's various officials, especially Tripura doctors in hospitals who are doing phenomenal job in handling COVID, risking their lives, as well as a lot of their dedicated duties in their profession. And next to the police department, again, very good work is being done by the police. And I would like to thank the department maintaining, like stability in this bad situation. So all the government departments, pretty much, I would like to thank you for whatever the services you are doing. Thanks also goes to the nurse, paramedical staff, and all others during this COVID situation. Today I'll talk a little bit about the misgovernance and what's going on right now in Tripura. By the way, I'm a non-political person. I'm not associated with the political ideologies or parties. So my every word should be taken as an independent opinion, also voice of the people. So that's what I'm talking right now. So Tripura's first issue, burning issue right now is massive COVID deaths. So Tripura, what's happening is Tripura is now ranking first in Northeast India in terms of rate of infection in COVID as well as the death. So this is happening because of high mismanagement by Tripura's health department, which falls under Chief Minister Biplab Deb. So since 2.5 years, we have been seeing in Tripura that one mismanagement after another mismanagement happening under the CM Biplab Deb. And Tripura Health Department is a typical example. Back in February this year, there was a health secretary, his name was Devashish Basu, and Tripura's health department was doing pretty well efficiently, and there was zero COVID death that time in Tripura, but without any reason, Devashish Basu was removed, and after that, the health ministry and everything, this just went into chaos. So Tripura right now, what's happening is, since February this year, Tripura's main referral hospital, which is GB Hospital in Agartala, that's the state capital, their oxygen pipeline, which is a lifeline for patients, critical care patients, as well as COVID patients. So GB Hospital's two buildings, NTH 1 and 2, those two buildings, oxygen pipeline was leaking since February. And till now it is not repaired. Just stopgap arrangements are being done, and that caused all death over 200 people till now because of this oxygen leak issue, which is ongoing issue since February. And medical authorities and the IAS officers, they all tried their best to get this fixed, but the political willpower from Biplab Deb and his government, that was missing. So that is a issue, Tripura's most burning issue, which is causing a lot of deaths in Tripura. And I would like to thank various national medias, especially NDTV, also the Ravish Kumar live show, which highlighted this issue that Tripura's COVID situation, and when some journalists are raising issues on COVID, how government, especially Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Deb, in an open speech, let me tell you the date. Okay, so on last Friday, 11th September, while he was laying the foundation stone in a special economic zone in Sabrum, which is South Tripura, so Biplab Deb threatened all Tripura's media, and overall he said that medias are fooling people. History will not forgive them, and I, Biplab Deb, also am not going to forgive them anytime. And what I means actually do in practically, and history will remain as witness. So the problem is a chief minister openly threatening journalists and medias in Tripura because they have been reporting about the COVID mismanagement which is going on across Tripura, all various hospitals, and especially in GB Hospital, daily the death continues. So because of this, all the media is highlighting these issues of people suffering, where a 3-day baby was died because a tube was inserted wrongly in the baby's nose. as well as everyday deaths are happening because of oxygen shortage, various types of shortages going on in GB hospital. So Chief Minister, rather than also being a health minister, rather than fixing the problem itself, and that hospital is hardly a few kilometers away from his secretariat, rather than he has chosen to threaten the journalists and media in Tripura so that they suppress this news and no one really sees this news. So this is covered by national media. Again, I would like to thank various national medias, especially NDTV and also Ravish Kumar's show. They have covered these issues very well. Now, one thing is there that national media least bothered about the whole Northeast itself. It is not only Tripura. National media, usually they are more interested, when whether Kangana Ranaut is getting securities or not, whether, some Bollywood star is what's happening, or some Delhi issues like that. Not national media as a whole, they are least bothered about various sufferings of Northeast India. So in that, some medias are exception, like NDTV. They are covering various miseries of Northeast people, and especially Tripura. So I would like to thank the national medias, whoever is covering Tripura's these issues. So my question is very simple, that in a democracy, freedom of speech is very important. And media is called fourth pillar of democracy. So where in a state, if a chief minister like Biplab Dev openly threatening media that he is going to teach them a lesson, and immediately after his threat, within 24 hours, a journalist, he is a rural journalist from Ambassa, he works in a Bengali daily in Tripura. His name is journalist Parasar Vissas. So Parasar Vissas was attacked by BJP goons because all he did is he came to Facebook Live and criticized Tripura CM. That too, just after his criticism in Facebook Live, within few hours he was brutally attacked. And there are confirmed reports and intelligence reports say that it was staged by none other than Biplab Dev himself, all these attacks. So basically, Tripura is already has become such a fascist state that their medias cannot open their mouth. Anyone opens their mouth, it's a journalist or anybody, that person will be thrashed and then he will be beaten like in black and white, so that no one, this is kind of a fear psychosis and fascism which is happening in Tripura, that no one can protest about the various irregularities and continuous deaths, and anyone protest, he will be beaten. So this is the state of democracy in Tripura. So I am saying this thing, my request to BJP leadership in Delhi, who will be listening this talk, that as early as possible you must replace Biplab Dev in Tripura, because in the past 2.5 years, not only is failed to run the state, he is holding 32 departments, government departments, and he failed in all fronts. He is unable to run a single department properly. He does not listen to IAS officers. He does not listen to his, advisors. And one by one, IAS and various bureaucrats, officers, they are taking voluntary retirement and they are leaving this state. Even yesterday also one IAS officer took voluntary retirement. So Tripura state is like this. So I would request BJP leadership in Delhi that all the misdeeds going on under Biplab Dev, he not only punctured your party's political capital in Tripura, also defamed your party by uttering all kinds of memes and the motor mouth items, starting from internet existence in Mahabharata to Diana Hayden to various things, and latest one is Jats and Jats and Punjabis, they got less brain. So this kind of luggage, I am sure BJP leadership you don't want to carry, because it is just spoiling your political image nationally, as well as it already punctured your image in the Tripura itself. So right now, you should think about your political survival in Tripura if you continue keeping like this person. Also, there is a high resentment inside your party, inside the BJP, all the MLAs. So right now, I think it's very important for BJP leadership to replace such an incapable and non-performer chief minister for the sake of his performance itself, that he is failing in all fronts. So next time, coming to the topic that Tripura, what's happening is any journalist opening their mouth and talking about chief minister against or criticizing the system is being just thrashed or attacked, so that no one does this again. And next is there was an incident that in midnight there were patients dying, which was Friday 11 September midnight. And Tripura BJP's MLA Sudip Burman, he visited GB hospital in midnight along with a biomedical instrumentation engineer Ratulde. And Ratulde is a person who actually fixed the oxygen pipeline in the middle of the night, which saved some patients on that night. So this is a commendable job. So we must see this beyond the politics, that someone did a great job saving some people in GB hospital in the middle of the night. So rather than appreciating him, Tripura government, which is again under Biplab Dev's instruction, filed few FIRs against him. And Tripura's one MP, who is, crime-ridden background, that MP, I don't want to name her, but that MP conducted a press conference and just condemned Sudip Burman and Ratul De because of the good work they did. On top of that, so GB hospital, what's happening, rather than a medical facility being in the hand of experts, it is now in the hand of, some crooks. They have no knowledge, no experience, no education, nothing. So this is how, GB hospital in GB hospital in Agartala, that is Tripura capital, it has become a deathbed since February. Since February till now, over 200 patients died just because lack of oxygen, lack of various facilities, lack of doctors, because doctors, they are also scared. A lot of those 24 doctors who were appointed on contractual basis for COVID, they did not get salary for over a month or two. So that's the height of mismanagement. And if you look at health ministry and health minister who is Biplab Dev, it is a massive failure. Even though Tripura government's many officials, IAS officers, like yesterday, DMOS, Shailesh Jadhav, IAS officer, he visited GB hospital, distributed some oxygen mask and tried to fix the system. But the problem is, who is sitting in the top of the system, who is Chief Minister Biplab Dev, is highly incapable and he does not have sense to understand that unless GB hospital, this malfunctioning stuff, oxygen facilities and things are fixed, these deaths will continue. So Tripura got, unfortunately, such a chief minister that he does not listen to people, he does not listen to media, no good advices goes into his ear. Just, he only knows one thing, how to suppress medias and how to attack journalists and how to stage those attacks on the media and journalists. So that's the state of Tripura right now. So I would request national media to highlight Tripura more frequently on these issues so that rest of the country's people know that what's going on under this chief minister. And Tripura's next problem is, by the way, GB hospital oxygen pressure issue is a very serious issue because ideally there should be a 50 to 60 psi pressure, but in average, that pressure is like 4 to 5. Malfunctioning. So there is a leak in the pipeline and there was no initiative taken by the chief minister since February 2020 to fix the pipelines so that this oxygen issue is fixed. So that's a major ongoing issue right now in the GB hospital. So I would like to draw all of your attention that this issue get fixed pretty soon so that our Tripura's many people's lives are safe. So coming to the next topic, Tripura's education and unemployment. So if you look at the Tripura education sector, unfortunately we got one education minister, his name is Ratanlal Nath. So he is holding education, law, various other departments. Now problem is incapable people, when they assume in a seat of power, which is a minister's seat, and neither they have vision, neither they know how to perform, neither they listen to the people who are expert in this field. So this is the problem in Tripura. There is a chief minister who does not listen to his own officials, and there is the education minister, he does not listen to his people either. So these two pretty much ruined Tripura from all. Also Tripura's BJP party is also ruined because of these two, all these kinds of wrongdoing since 2.5 years. So Education Minister Ratanlal Nath on, I'll tell you the date, yes, on last Thursday 10th September, he commented in a program that, that comparing to the teaching profession, he commented, because as you know, Tripura has high unemployment. I'm coming to this topic in few minutes, but he commented the teachers are earning only 7,000 to 10,000 rupees, but a pig farmer by rearing pigs is earning more than 15,000 rupees. So pig rearing is the future basically. So can you imagine what kind of level and state education minister his mindset is? He is comparing a noble respected profession of teaching to the pig rearing. See, pig rearing is not a bad profession. Who are expert in that field, they do. But people who are having master's degree holder, B.Ed and TET passed and all, and start looking for, the teaching job, appointments from you, the education minister, and you are showing them to pig rearing. So Ratanlal, this statement I condemn it because this is highly insulting, that you are telling teachers that you are earning only 7,000 to 10,000 rupees. Teaching is a noble profession. It's a sacred duty of a teacher, and this is how our nation gets built up, by teachers. Now teaching profession, you cannot value it in terms of 7,000 or 10,000 rupees, and then you demean that profession by comparing that with 15,000 rupees someone is earning on the pig rearing, right? So you cannot do that, and that shows your level of intellect and what a dumb fool you are. So I would request also BJP leadership in Delhi that better you do some justice for Tripura and replace these fools, One is Biplab, another is this Ratanlal, because their all actions, what's happening is causing massive stress on the Tripura as a whole. Tripura has over 50 to 60,000 government posts which is lying vacant. It can be easily allocated. Jobs can be again given to the unemployed youth, but there is no employment, nothing. And on top of that, every program, it is Biplab Dev telling unemployed youth to rear cows or go for, ducks, or going for other stuff like pawn shop. And his deputy, who people call, very fondly that Hobu Chandra Raja and Gobu Chandra Mantri, it's a Bengali comical word that basically used for the dumb characters. So one is telling unemployed youth to go for cow rearing, pawn shops and those stuff. And his deputy Ratanlal is telling teachers and unemployed youth the pig rearing and all this is such a great thing. You can earn 15,000 rupees like that. So my advice to Ratanlal and Biplab Dev is, in next election, you just tell that you can only offer people pig rearing, cow rearing, pawn shops, and you see how many votes you get. So Tripura overall, my dear friends who are watching me from national or various medias, that Tripura's right now, the democracy does not exist in Tripura. There is freedom of speech, it does not exist. No one can protest, no one can raise any voice. Even Tripura's local newspaper like Donik Shangbad, there is a legal notice sent to its editor just because she spoke against BJP government's various wrongdoings. So Tripura's, if you look at right now, it is nothing but the fascism. Fascism means what? Where you cannot voice your opinion, you are being suppressed, and then if you still voice your opinion, you are being attacked. So that is called fascism. So Tripura is now undergoing this fascist era. So unless Biplab Dev, Ratanlal kind of characters are removed from the seat of power, it is not only the ordinary people, it is also the IAS, IPS officials, state bureaucracy, the whole system. They will be able to function because of these two, because these two are attacking medias, journalists, editors, and the common people. They are being attacked. So people have no rights right now. They cannot demand fresh drinking water from the government. They cannot demand good healthcare facilities. People cannot demand good education from the government. Tripura people have no rights now. They cannot ask or demand anything from this government. So it is very important that these two characters should be removed from the government so that Tripura's healthcare, then education, then overall governance, law and order, everything will come into a picture where, Tripura's people can live peacefully. Now, next thing I would like to cover is that unemployment issue. That unemployment issue is very high and it is going on. There are over 8 lakhs unemployed youths in Tripura, and practically it has become a Herculean task for any government to provide jobs to them. But even in that situation, it is BJP government, BJP as a political party, on 11th February 2018 in Shonarturi Hotel, in presence of Arun Jaitley, that time he was Union Finance Minister, Tripura's BJP leadership, they promised via written vision document to Tripura's people that all these promises will be honored as soon as they get the power after winning the election. And that document has clearly written that all 10,323 teachers will be regularized, but nothing was done yet. 50,000 government posts will be filled up, given within first 1 year of BJP government, whereas 2.5 years passed, nothing was done. So like this, there is a series of promises which nothing was kept. Even free smartphones to Tripura's youths, that was also kept, but that was also not kept by the BJP government. So right now, it's such a situation in Tripura that every promise was given before 2018 election. Everything was like a fake. It was a fraud promise. So that's why people call it as a Jumla. So Tripura people right now understanding that the governance they got, and that governance basically everything they have done so far, just looting the exchequers, the taxpayers' money via their, for example, Biplab Dev's various relatives got liquor dealership licenses, foreign liquor dealerships. His relatives in Udaipur, Agartala, various places got petrol pump licenses. Same goes with Ratanlal Nath. His all relatives got various contracts and all these. So what is happening? These people, few of them in governance, they are just filling their own pockets. It is not helping or even rest of the BJP party. So that's the reason these people should be removed from the governance, and hopefully in next couple of months, within December, we'll see a change, and that change probably will happen pretty soon too. So Tripura right now undergoing such a massive crisis. It is healthcare. People are dying without treatment, even though officials are trying their best. Same is happening with foods. People do not have foods. If you go a little outside the capital city, Agartala, there is a huge drinking water problem. Then every day there is a huge load shedding in state. Some places like Koilashore to many remote areas in Tripura, outskirts of Koilashore and all, people reported to me that for a couple of days in a straight, there is no power. So that's the situation of Tripura right now, my dear friends. Whoever you are looking this situation, that even though there is an elected government in place, but there is no work is being done. People are suffering from all walks of the life, and especially during the COVID situation. Tripura does not have a dedicated health minister, neither any forum or any platform where daily health issues can be addressed and saved. GB's oxygen pipeline is a major issue. It still is an issue. and there is no initiative to fix this problem permanently. And on top of everything, it's a shame for Tripura government that to Biplav Dev, I don't know even if you understand, what Tripura High Court said. Tripura High Court took a suo motu case based on the newspaper report about GB hospitals, COVID mismanagement, and the daily patients' deaths. So Tripura High Court took a suo motu case against state government and gave 2 weeks time to file a report that why so many patients are dying in GB hospital. And probably all of you have seen a lot of live video feeds from the GB hospital by various patients' relatives, that how patients are breathing their last or how they are dying and how much mismanagement is going on inside the GB hospital. And also every government department right now is under the control of pretty much various hooligan groups, and which is again patronized by these few people I named you. So in this Tripura situation, it is very important that we all raise our voice and we tell to others and we unite and we try to raise our voice at the best so that at least something happens. So my message to all the unemployed groups of youths in Tripura, whether it is state past youths, whether it is 10,323, whether it is 400 unemployed MBBS doctors, whether it is unemployed nurses, whether it is unemployed various agriculture to all other departments, that do not keep quiet at your home. You are part of democracy. So in a democratic manner, you raise your voice, organize protest in democratic manner, and fight for your rights. Because if you don't fight for your right, then who will? No one will fight for the rights. It's you who has to raise your voice and fight for your rights. Then only something you will see down the line. So Tripura's situation is so bad. Again, I am representing those voiceless people who can't speak openly because of fear, intimidation, and various kind of threats against them by ruling parties, organized goons. So it is very important that whatever I am saying right now, it should be seen as a people's voice. And accordingly, all of you take proper actions. And then also Tripura is in this high COVID situation. There is no nurses recruitment, but there are hundreds of unemployed nurses in Tripura. So if you go Tripura's any hospital, you will see right now in this COVID situation, there is a huge there is a huge discrepancy of what is in paper and what is in the practically. So you will see healthcare is pretty much, it broke down all across the Tripura and people are dying. And most of the common people, they don't have a voice. They can't go to media. They can't report that, my relative died because of lack of oxygen or something. So they don't have a voice basically. So Tripura's all these people who are suffering right now, and a lot of doctors, they told me that situation is so bad in various hospitals that we are afraid to work because our instruments do not work. We don't have medicines. We don't have various kits and supplies. And a lot of the patient parties are violent on us. And so how do we even work in these hospitals? It's very, very difficult to work like that. So that's the sad state of Tripura's hospitals and Tripura's healthcare system. Now, Tripura's doctors to various health professionals, nurses, paramedicals, their point is it is a high mismanagement everywhere. Many are not getting salaries. Many are not getting proper, treatments. And medical professionals, they are facing various difficulties, but there is no one to listen basically. And as soon as someone from the medical fraternity, they're raising their voice, immediately there is it's like a pounding attack coming onto him so that he can't speak anymore. So that's the democracy right now in Tripura. So I wanted to raise these topics, mostly unemployment and the state of the health sector, and most importantly, how voice of freedom is subdued in Tripura and how it is suppressed by the hooligan elements of close to ruling people in the Tripura. And overall, Tripura now media, they do not have any independence. They can't speak openly. At the same time, anyone writes or criticizes government, immediately those medias or newspapers, they become target of Biplab Dev. So this is how he is running the state right now. So it is very important that who are listening you, my friends in national media on this live or will listen after the live, it is very important that please spend some time on Tripura, highlight Tripura's issues, see the mismanagement being done by the government. Basically, it's not the government, I would say, it's just few specific people like Biplab and Ratanlal and all, that because of the even IAS officers also unable to perform properly. So Tripura needs a change, and unless we change, bring that change in Tripura, Tripura's suffering will become more grave to much graver. So this is very important, my friends, that all of we open our mouth, we see the problem, but we should not be keeping quiet, because some fear is inside us, some imaginary fear. There will be some, stray attacks or like kind of suppression from various angles, but that should not make you silent. You should raise your voice. And our goal is cutting across political lines and going above all ideologies. Our common goal should be making our Tripura much better, a livable place where a patient does not die because lack of oxygen, where a student in rural village does not commit suicide because her rickshaw puller father could not afford to buy her a smartphone, which is the education system of remote learning. So that Tripura we should not see moving forward. And that's why we all should raise our voice. Our friends who are journalists, raise this voice in every platform. My national media friends, you just covered this so that the whole country knows the state of Tripura. Also, Tripura's, all the people who are listening my live or seeing, my request to you will be just, raise your voice. Do not keep quiet, because it's we people have to bring the change in Tripura, and surely change will come in Tripura. So with this, I'll again continue from my Sunday live, and once in a week I'll come for some time, probably Wednesdays or Thursdays. I'll come for a short time to do my live in English. But thing is, message is very clear that democracy and independence, this is our basic rights. This is our basic rights as a citizen as well as human. These are basic rights. If any power, anything tries to curb you that right, so this is the time you should fight back. And that is the duty of every citizen. So my dear friends, I'll talk again live in Bengali on Sunday, and English most likely next Wednesday or Thursday. A lot of you requested that I talk in English at least once in a week. So with this, I'm ending my live today. All of you take care. This is a COVID situation, and tomorrow is a auspicious Bengali festival, Mahalaya. So my warm wishes to all of you for this festival. And next is COVID is spreading in a rapid manner. So all of you stay safe. Take care of yourself, because as you know, healthcare or health sector totally broken down. So it's all of you individually have to take care of yourself. So with this, I'm ending my live today. So all of you take care. Goodbye.